Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at question 18 in the 2023 grades 3 to 4 Math Kangaroo question paper. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Ali has a 60 centimeter ruler. Unfortunately, some of the markings have faded away. He is able to measure any of the lengths 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 using his ruler only once. Which is Ali's ruler? So we're going to look at each of the answer choices and see if we can measure the given lengths and see which one is the answer. So looking at A, we have the lengths 10 and 30. So we can already have 10 and 30. We can find 20 because it's the halfway mark of 10 and 30. And then we can find 60 since it's at the end. But 40 and 50 are a bit tricky since they're in between here, and we won't have an exact measure. So A is probably not the answer. Next, looking at B, we have 20 and 40 given. 60 is at the end, so we could figure out 60. And then 10, we know that 10 is the halfway of here, so we could guess that properly. And 30 is the halfway of 20 and 40. So we can guess that properly, and 50 is the halfway point of 40 and 60. So we can also guess 50. And so given this, we can find out each one of the lengths. So B is probably the answer. But let's look at C, D, and E just to make sure. Looking at C, we have 30 and 50. And we know that 60 is at the end. We can find out 40 since it's the halfway mark. And then now we have to find 10 and 20. So 10 and 20 should be somewhere around here, but we can't have an exact one, so C is probably not the answer. Next, looking at D, we have 10 and 20 given. And then we have 60 at the end. So now we have 30, 40, and 50 in between. And since there are 3 extra missing numbers, we probably can't make an exact point. So D is not the answer either. Lastly, looking at E, we have 10 and 40 given. And then 60 is at the end. Since 50 is in the middle, we could probably approximate to find 50. And then here we're missing 20 and 30. Since 20 and 30 are somewhere around here, we can't really have an exact measure, so E is probably not the answer either. So this must mean the answer to this problem is B. Thanks for watching.